The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 108. Liu stroked Daobao's head and also didn't move to hit Erbao and Sanbao's butts. Liu grabbed each of the three boys' little soft hands and placed them together, on top of each other, and said sagely, "You boys are blood-related brothers. You all need to watch out and help each other, instead of starting internal strife. If your brother gets something good, you should feel happy for them and not try to take it away." Because Liu abruptly paused. He realized what he was saying and glanced towards Jingwang with discomfort. Could he lecture the children this way? No matter what, they were children of the royal family after all. But he was also the one who gave birth to them. If he didn't teach them, then who would? Jingwang gently nodded his head towards Liu, indicating for him to continue. After receiving encouragement, Liu finished saying his speech with a smile, "Because what's yours will still be yours in the end. What's not yours, you won't be able to hold onto even if you take it by force." Daobao looked at the cloth tiger doll, deep in thought. Erbao and Sanbao were no longer in a hurry to throw the blame onto each other. They mischievously exchanged a look and voluntarily scooted their own butts in front of Fish Dad, willing to get spanked by Fish Dad. Liu made them pull up their pants the same way they helped each other take them off. Daobao understood his teaching and solemnly pulled out his most favorite brush that Grandpa gave him. He placed it next to the sleeping Sibao and, imitating Fish Dad, he rubbed Sibao on the head. Erbao and Sanbao sat together, attempting to piece together the broken cloth tiger doll again. However, the cloth tiger doll was practically split apart, unable to be put together again. Erbao and Sanbao also discovered this and lowered their heads dispiritedly. Wang Shi received an eye gesture from Jingwang and carried over a few toys. Normally he always carried a bit of the little master's toys on him. One of them was the cloth ducky that Erbao loved and Sanbao's favorite rattle drum. Imitating Daobao, Erbao and Sanbao also placed the cloth ducky and rattle drum in front of Sibao. When Sibao woke up, his eyes lit up. His big brothers were all sitting around him, and they even placed plenty of good stuff in front of him. Seeing that he woke up, they all came over to kiss him. Sibao, who loved kisses, immediately forgot about the cloth tiger doll and started playing with the toys with his older brothers and playfully giving each other kisses. Liu successfully defused the little dispute between the kids. They practically forgot all about it in the aftermath. Jingwang had been listening to him lecturing the fish babies this entire time. Xiao Yu had many frank and open ideas and opinions that Jingwang had never heard of before. The masters and graduate scholars don't teach this either. Jingwang was well aware that the respect between brothers of the royal family was just a mere pretense. However, now that the fish babies reconciled, on the contrary, he felt like this was how things should be. At this time, a gold garment tail flashed past outside the palace hall. Wang Shi, who was near the entrance of the hall, discovered it and hastily shot meaningful looks at Jingwang. Wang Shi was afraid that the princess consort might accidentally say something offensive and wanted to step forth and stop him. Jingwang shook his head, not allowing Wang Shi to go. He liked listening to Xiao Yu speak logically and didn't feel like there was anything wrong with it. Outside of the palace hall, the emperor naturally also heard Liu's lectures. Emperors of ancient times all loved to eavesdrop. The emperor originally wanted to see what the husband pair would say in front of Empress Xiao Hui's departed spirit. He just secretly came over when he accidentally bumped into the princess consort lecturing the children. The emperor didn't really approve of Liu's words and chided with a smile, "Absolute nonsense." But then, he actually stayed and watched the children play energetically for a long time. Head steward Luo, who was keeping him company on the side, couldn't help but bicker internally. "Although you say it's absolute nonsense, You still look far more vigorous right now than any other time, Your Majesty. Jingwang waited until the emperor had left before finally walking over. Li Yu was completely unaware that the emperor's impression of him had just improved. Jingwang also smiled and rubbed his head. Li Yu. De Bao, Air Bao, San Bao, and Si Bao gathered together and said to each other, "So, Fish Dad also likes his head rubbed." "Oh, that's right, Your Highness." Li Yu turned the cloth tiger doll over the side with the embroidered characters on it and handed it to Jingwang and Wang Shi to see. Wang Shi looked at it repeatedly a few times, then touched it a bit before saying with certainty, "This is a custom of Changchun Palace. If one of the servants made something, they needed to leave a mark on it in an inconspicuous place. However, the Pulu here, if this old servant may speak directly, this servant have never heard of her before. However, there's no need to worry, Princess Consort. This notation is most likely a person's name. This old servant can go investigate the files of Changchun Palace's previous workers. It should be recorded there." Li Yu hastily thanked him. Who knew if there would be any progress this time or if the result was even related to the secret that he had been mulling over. Wang Shi ordered an attendant to fetch the files. Soon afterwards, the attendant came back to report. After Empress Xuěshān passed away, Changchun Palace had misplaced a bunch of things. Unfortunately, one of the items was a booklet of names. Wang Shi took what's left over of the files and flipped through them. However, he was unable to find Pulu. Wang Shi knew this was how the people in the palace threw away the blame. Missing items were spoken as misplaced. Wang Shi was just about to scold them when Li Yu hastily said, "I was only curious who made this cloth tiger doll, nothing else." Outwardly, nothing was found. However, in a pile of booklets of names, just this one managed to get lost. Instinct told him that this was somewhat odd. He also heard from the person in charge that the booklet had been lost for many years already. The names recorded on that booklet, then, must be from many years ago, and not of the current palace servants. Bumping into a wall once again, Li Yu decided that he still needed to go ask head steward Luo if Jingwang had some other wet nurse before by the name of Pulu. He was still thinking about the room that he saw inside the secret. As Jingwang watched the children play, Li Yu asked, "Tianqi, can I look around for a bit?" Jingwang permitted it, but he didn't let Wang Shi follow Li Yu or order Wang Shi to stay behind to watch the kids. Instead, he picked up two of the kids and ordered Wang Shi to carry the other two. Then, everyone followed behind Li Yu. While Li Yu was walking around, Jingwang was responsible for taking care of the children and protecting Li Yu. Li Yu grinned widely and found a palace servant to lead the way. They started to wander around, room by room. After the stroll was completed, he still couldn't find the room that was in the memory. Li Yu had thought about it before. The rooms inside the imperial palace should all be pretty much the same. The decorations might change, but the ceiling, the supporting frames and that kind of stuff would be the same. Li Yu originally hoped to use these aspects to find the room in the memory. However, he couldn't find it. Searching around in a circle, he discovered that the stroll was already done. Li Yu counted the rooms that he visited and felt that something didn't seem quite right. Normally the total number of rooms would be even, with the rooms coming in pairs. The Jing estate was like this. The palace of Empress Xuěshān should also follow the same pattern. However, he clearly remembered entering an odd number of rooms. Li Yu mentioned it offhandedly. The servant leading the way knelt down, trembling with trepidation. "Originally there's one more room, but His Majesty had it sealed." Li Yu was shocked. He was only guessing based on the setup of the Jing estate. But it was actually true. The servant pulled away a heavy curtain and revealed a yellow worn-out seal. So, this curtain concealed a room that he hasn't visited yet. His Majesty had sealed this room when Empress Xuěshān was severely ill and did not permit us servants to open it. The date written on the seal confirmed the palace servant's words. Since this was the emperor's seal, Li Yu also couldn't open it rashly. However, the positions of Changchun Palace's rooms were all symmetrical. Li Yu made a comparison with the room on the opposing side and came to the conclusion that the room he was looking for should be the one behind the seal. If one can say that the characters, Pulu, which were sewn on the cloth tiger, didn't have anything to do with the secret, then it must be said that this room was definitely related to the secret. It looks like even the emperor knew the secret. Otherwise why would he seal the room? And it was even while Empress Yao Hui was severely ill. That's very dismissive of Empress Yao Hui's reputation. Wasn't he afraid of upsetting Empress Yao Hui? Li Yu didn't believe that the emperor would disregard Empress Yao Hui. That meant that the existence of this room exceeded Empress Yao Hui's reputation. Just what kind of secret was this? Why was it that every time he felt like he was getting closer to the truth, he would found even more mysteries? Li Yu asked the palace servant, "Do you have an idea why it was sealed?" In the memory, he saw the wet nurse eat a bag of powder, but he didn't know what happened afterwards. Could the wet nurse have died of poison inside this room later on, and that's why the emperor sealed it up? That was pretty discomforting after all. Just thinking about it, Li Yu felt rather uncomfortable himself. The servant shook their head, saying, "This servant was transferred to Changchun Palace later on. When this servant arrived, the room was already like this. This humble one also don't know what's inside." Li Yu also expected this and stopped asking. Jingwang discovered that Li Yu was staring off into space, facing the sealed room, and sensed a hint of abnormality. "What's the matter?" Jingwang shot him a questioning look. Li Yu slowly shook his head. This thing was a bit hard to explain to Jingwang. The main reason was that Jingwang was still too young at that time and didn't have any impression of it. "Your Highness, Princess Consort. The Emperor wants to bestow rewards on your honored selves." Head Steward Luo's voice traveled in from the outside. The Emperor came over to eavesdrop. After returning to Ganqing Palace, he then ordered Head Steward Luo to go back bearing gifts. Li Yu was shocked. They had just left Ganqing Palace not long ago. The Emperor was really acting a bit like the saying, "Not seeing each other for one day feels like being apart for 3 seasons." However, since the Emperor wanted to reward them, it's not like he could be stopped. Jingwang and Li Yu listened to the rewards while holding the children. The Emperor rewarded De Bao the smallest sized writing utensils for his little chubby hand to hold. The other 3 boys got exquisite toys of the 12 zodiac animals. Li Yu thought to himself that the Emperor had actually already rewarded them a lot, so why was he suddenly gifting the children again? Nevertheless, the Emperor's love for De Bao was extremely apparent. Perhaps the one making the Emperor feel apart for 3 seasons was De Bao, who knew. Other than rewarding the boys, the Emperor also rewarded the children's dad Li Yu, a painting of Mother Meng teaching her child. Li Yu. Why did he feel like the Emperor misunderstood something here? Was the Emperor trying to hint that he should learn from Mother Meng and move around with the children? "Your Highness, Princess Consort. There's also this." Head Steward Luo personally brought over 2 boxes of fish food. "His Majesty knows that you love to raise fish. So, he ordered this old servant to bring over some fish food as well. This fish food has the taste of the capital's shredded pork with soybean. It's a new flavor that the Imperial Kitchens just created." Saying this, Head Steward Luo handed the boxes of fish food to Wang Shi. Wang Shi immediately accepted it. Because it counted as food, Wang Shi opened it for inspection, per usual. When he opened the box, the smell of fish food immediately traveled and dispersed outward. Absent-mindedly, Head Steward Luo saw the little masters of the Princess Consort all staring unblinkingly at the fish food. "De Bao, Air Bao, San Bao, Si Bao, it's been so very long since we ate fish food. So delicious. Really want to eat?" Li Yu. Although Li Yu's fish instincts activated and he also wanted to eat, he was deeply aware that he couldn't expose himself in public. He could also control himself. However, the children couldn't. Fish food and peach blossom cookies were two delicious treats that they've been yearning for since they were still young fishes. However, after changing into humans, they could only have peach blossom cookies. When the boys saw the fish food, their eyes all became fixed. Why would there be little boys who like to eat fish food? That's too preposterous. Seeing the boys was about to call out, Liu gave them a vicious glare. All the four boys were terrified by Fish Dad's frightening look and didn't dare to move. They also didn't dare to call out. Liu quickly seized the opportunity to slam the box of fish food shut and nimbly stuff it into his sleeve. Jingwang was practically observing Xiaoyu every single moment in time. Since Xiaoyu already put away the box, Jingwang collaborated seamlessly with him and swiftly pulled out a few peach blossom cookies to put on the boys' mouths. The boys immediately forgot the fish food. Head steward Luo rubbed his eyes. Looks like he must have really been blind to have believed that Jingwang's little masters liked fish food. Head steward Luo, may I ask you something? While head steward Luo sat down to drink a cup of tea, Liu took the chance to ask him quietly. As you please, princess consort. Head steward Luo had a very good impression of this consort. He was also happy to answer the princess consort's questions. Therefore, Liu asked, does Luo Gonggong know someone called Pulu? They should be a woman that might have worked in Changchun Palace before. Why are you asking this, princess consort? A hint of unnaturalness flashed across Luo Gonggong's face, which didn't escape Liu's eyes. Liu paid more attention and pulled out the ripped cloth tiger, making head steward Luo look at the characters embroidered inside. Randomly finding an excuse, he said, the boys accidentally broke this cloth tiger doll, therefore I saw this mark. I heard it's a person's name, so I got somewhat curious. So it's like this, head steward Luo said with a smile. The prince's consort guessed right. This is the mark of a wet nurse who once worked for Empress Xiaohui. She was once the wet nurse of the first prince and the fourth prince. Empress Xiaohui was extremely trusting of her. Originally, she was going to continue being Jingwang's wet nurse. However, soon afterwards, she made a huge mistake and couldn't take care of the prince anymore. Empress Xiaohui had no choice but to expel her from the imperial palace. The emperor also sealed up the room that she once lived in. Liu felt like he touched a glimpse of light which tied together quite a few perplexing questions. Pulu was really a person's name, a wet nurse to be specific. The age also matched up. She once took care of Jingwang for a short period of time and then the emperor later sealed her room. Is it that sealed room inside Changchun Palace? End chapter. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 109. Head steward Luo said, that is correct. It is that room. The reason why the emperor sealed that room was only because he didn't want the extremely sick Empress Xiaohui at that time to see it and got upset again. So, the emperor did it out of concern for Empress Xiaohui. Liu was just questioning if the room in the memory was the one that was sealed. Since this was Pulu's room, then the woman that he saw in the memory should be Pulu herself. This wet nurse was expelled out of the imperial palace. Even her room was sealed up. It was clearly seen that she had made a huge mistake. The royal family had many shameful secrets. Who knows if he should make inquiries or not? However, since he was only privately asking head steward Luo, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Liu asked experimentally, Luo Gonggong, what did Pulu do wrong exactly? Head steward Luo fell silent for a moment and then said, this event happened many years ago. If the princess consort wishes to know, there's no harm in telling it. Someone discovered that this wet nurse did not take care of the little prince well enough, causing the recently birthed Jingwang to catch a cold. Empress Xiaohui was extremely angry, but taking into consideration that she had been the wet nurse of the deceased first prince and fourth prince, and even if she did not receive any official merit, she indeed put in a lot of effort. Also, Empress Xuěshān was kind-hearted and only expelled her from the imperial palace. Liu, what? Why was this completely different than what he had expected? Liu thought that the mistake that the wet nurse made should have been related to that bag of powder that she took. But it was just this. It's because she didn't take care of Jingwang well that she. Head steward Luo nodded his head as he continued, because this happened right before Empress Xuěshān passed away. This servant remembers it especially well. His Highness Jingwang was born very weak, and unable to speak. The imperial physicians had instructed firmly that he needed to be meticulously cared for, but this wet nurse, she opened a window in His Highness Jingwang's room slightly and forgot to close it. At that time, the weather was cold. Not soon after, His Highness Jingwang fell ill. Empress Xuěshān wasn't very well herself and had to worry over the care of the little prince. Her health became even worse. Liu was stunned briefly, so this event happened in that room. The reason why Pulu was expelled out of the imperial palace as a punishment was because she didn't take care of the young Jingwang well. However, the Pulu in the memory that he saw, was someone who would personally sew toys for Jingwang. The few times that she looked towards Jingwang, her expression was also full of affection. Liu was someone who had bear-fish sons. He could recognize that the affections that Pulu had towards Jingwang wasn't fake. A person's personality couldn't be changed easily. Since Pulu was once the first prince and fourth prince's wet nurse, she shouldn't be a careless, inconsiderate person. She should understand very well what she should and shouldn't do. Yet how come with Jingwang, she made such a basic mistake? Furthermore, if the window were really left opened, people wouldn't really get sick in such a short time. There was also a fair distance between the window and where the bed was. Infants were often wrapped in swaddling clothes. If they were to get chilled, they must have been blown by cold wind for a long time. Even if Pulu was careless and forgot to close the window, why didn't she discover it later? Liu felt like Pulu's actions were somewhat conflicting with her affections towards Jingwang. Furthermore, what did all of this have anything to do with the powder? Liu's head was a complete mess. He relentlessly chased after the secret. Don't tell him that perhaps the secret was not actually meaningful at all, and was merely something that Jingwang saw when he was very young? The wet nurse, Pulu, had a disagreement with that person. Then not long afterwards, she was chased out of the imperial palace. Liu thought of another question at this time. Since Pulu was once Jingwang's wet nurse, how come I couldn't find her name in Changchun Palace's servants' records? What? Head steward Luo didn't expect him to say this and replied after a brief pause, that's not possible. Why wouldn't she be in the records? Liu was surprised. He tactfully mentioned the fact that one of the booklets got lost. Head steward Luo's reaction didn't seem fake. This was indicating that even head steward Luo didn't know about the fact that Changchun Palace had lost a booklet of names. In other words, Pulu's name was not erased by the emperor's orders. This just got even more strange. Even if someone was dismissed from the imperial palace, there would still be records of their service, so why was there none for Pulu? If the children didn't tour the cloth tiger doll that she had made, Liu might not have learned about the existence of Pulu. Ever since she was chased out of the imperial palace, this person seemed to have disappeared from existence. Head steward Luo answered many of Liu's questions. Although there were still irregularities, Liu didn't want to continue asking about it, as it would seem like he was making a big deal out of a minor issue. Pulu was only expelled from the imperial palace. The sealed room also wasn't a crime scene or anything like that. That's right. Pulu didn't actually die. She was still alive in this world. If Liu wanted to know more, he could find Pulu directly and ask her. However, since this was an old matter that had already passed years ago, was it still necessary to get to the bottom of everything? If Pulu were really found, how was he supposed to explain to her how he knew about the powder that she had swallowed? Perhaps that was only a medication to cure some discomfort? Not every secret was perfect. Even if the secret wasn't what he had imagined, there's no need to be too disappointed. Liu asked one more question, Luo Gong Gong, do you have any idea where did Pulu go after she was expelled? Luo Ruisheng said, I heard she went back to her hometown. Liu still requested head steward Luo to help him find the address of Pulu's hometown. When a woman is expelled from the imperial palace, this would be where they would usually return to. If new development appears, then we'll see. Head steward Luo bid his farewells. Jingwang and Liu also returned to the Jing estate with the children. Because of the sudden incident that occurred inside Changchun Palace, Liu decided to start training the fish babies. Remember, you must never let other people discover that you were once fishes. Liu said to the boys. This was too important. Just think about how much effort Jingwang used to cover up for them. Yet the fish babies almost exposed themselves over a box of fish food. That would really have been too unfortunate. Liu still had lingering fears and felt like it was time for the children to learn how to protect themselves. De Bao, Air Bao, and San Bao didn't really understand. Being a fish was so amazing. Why couldn't they say there were fish babies? Being looked at by the children's bright and shiny, star-like eyes, Liu felt somewhat reluctant deep inside to burst their bubbles. He was more and more sympathizing with the feelings of a father. The fish babies were all protected too well by Jingwang and himself. However, one day they would have to face the world by themselves eventually. To let the innocent and naive fish babies understand the malice of the human heart early was very important. The young fish dad said gravely, only you and your two fathers can know about the fact that you were once fish. You mustn't let anyone else know about it. Other people can't change into fish like us. If they learn of this, they will do many scary things to you boys. Air Bao tilted his head as if asking, scary things? Liu said, they will lock all of you away and treat you like monsters. They will not give you anything to eat and also will not let you see daddy. De Bao, Air Bao, and San Bao jolted and sat up straight, nodding their heads frantically. Being locked up with no food to eat and not being able to see daddy was really too scary. Liu was rather pleased with their responses. Other than telling the fish babies not to expose their identities, he was also making sure that they don't easily get tricked away by bad people. Liu was well versed on this other point. Liu summarized his own past experience and said meaningfully, if daddy happens to be busy and is unable to stay by your side, and someone talks to you while using daddy's name, then they're most likely trying to trick you. You definitely shouldn't listen to them. De Bao. Air Bao. San Bao. The life of a fish was too hard. What does unable to stay by your side and talking while using daddy's names mean? The fish babies didn't really understand. Liu continued, in any case, just remember what daddy said. Only trust people your daddies say you can trust. Otherwise, just ignore them. De Bao, Air Bao, and San Bao understood this and nodded their heads. Si Bao had his head propped up in his hand, head bobbing up and down. Then, with a flop, his head slid off his hand. Si Bao. With a ferocious grin, Liu shook this fish baby awake, the words that daddy said just now, remember to write it 10 times. Si Bao. Si Bao felt wronged and trembled in fear. What, I accidentally made Fish Dad angry. Fish Dad's face looked so scary. But, I didn't even know how to write yet. With the help of De Bao, Si Bao scribbled a page full of the character for rice. Holding the page with both of his tiny little hands, he handed it to Fish Dad. Fish Dad understood what De Bao's rice meant by this time. Every time he saw it, it made him want to smile warmly. However, after seeing Si Bao's rice, Fish Dad only wanted to beat someone up. He definitely won't allow any of the fish babies remain befuddled on this matter. Whenever there was free time, Liu lectured this. Finally, even the slightly slower to respond Si Bao remembered Fish Dad's words by heart. Not long afterwards, It was the 100th day celebration of the daughter of Xuěshān and the princess of Jinju, Princess Jinghe. Xuěshān arranged a banquet at the Chang'an Palace. Liu already agreed to bring the children and the school of fishes over. He planned to first give his congratulations. If he really couldn't avoid it, after seeing the princess and Xuěshān, then he'll change into his fish form. When that comes, he'll be a real fish. The little tiny fishes beside him will be the tiny fish pillows. It would be hard to tell between the real and fake then. Meanwhile, Jingwang would be responsible to cover for his human form and find excuse why he had to return early to the Jing estate as usual. They had made this plan earlier and Jingwang didn't object. However, on the day before they left, Liu held the fish pillows and made them into a chain. He was just about to put them into the crystal bottle when Jingwang came over holding another crystal bottle that looked exactly the same. Liu felt it was rather strange and went to look at the crystal bottle in Jingwang's hand. Inside was a fish that looked extremely similar to his fish form. It was also a silver base color with gold. A koi that was approximately the same as him. Why would another fish enter the territory that should have belonged to him? Liu felt the alarm bells going off loudly in his heart. However, Jingwang only put the crystal bottle in his hands. Then from his sleeve, Jingwang pulled out a slightly smaller crystal bottle. He poured the tiny fishes inside this bottle into the bottle in Liu's hands. Liu discovered that these fishes were very similar in colors to the individual colors of the fish babies. Why would Jingwang have fishes that were so similar to him and the fish babies? Liu slowly pondered and then finally realized. These were the body doubles that Jingwang had prepared for him and the fish babies. Whenever he brought the fish pillows outside, he had to check often to make sure that no one realized anything was wrong with them. It wasn't very convenient. However, if he carried live fish that was extremely similar looking body doubles for him and the fish babies, what else did he need to worry about? Liu swiftly brought over the crystal bottle and carefully examined these fishes. No two leaves were the same in this world. Naturally, no two fish looked exactly the same. The bigger body double had roughly the same pattern as his fish form, but it had less gold scales. If placed together with his fish form, it would be pretty easy to notice the difference. However, if there's only this one fish, people not very close to him probably wouldn't be able to tell at all. The times that Xuěshān and the princess of Jinju saw his fish form, it was only through the walls of a fish tank or through the crystal bottle. They wouldn't be too familiar with the appearance of his fish form. Therefore, this body double should be able to cover up everything. If it were Jingwang, it probably wouldn't work. With a body double, he no longer needed to specifically change into a fish. Besides, he might have the transformation skill when the need arose, but the fish babies won't be able to transform until they become 7 years old. Wang Shi already mumbled several times before that the little tiny fishes inside the fish tank often stayed in the same position and were often sleeping. Liu randomly muddled through an answer but still felt that Wang Gonggong was getting somewhat suspicious. What Jingwang had done here would solve this headache-inducing problem. Liu was extremely happy. To be able to find these fish, you must have spent quite the effort, right, Tianqi? Even he thought they looked similar. It must have been hard. Jingwang shook his head. He didn't use a whole lot of energy. He just started searching ever since Xiaoyu revealed his identity openly. He's been searching for more than a year now. Later on, he also advanced his plans to find body doubles for the little baby fishes. The people responsible for this task all said that this depended entirely on luck, but Jingwang thought that if they threw their net over a larger area and searched persistently, they would definitely find it. Pleased, Liu hugged the bottle and gave Jingwang a flying kiss. He recalled that once, he had even gotten jealous of himself. It was really a bit messed up. However, now that he had a body double, and this was no longer himself, would Jingwang have to pretend that the fish body double was his pampered fish in front of other people outside? Just doing this might not even be enough. Would Jingwang also need to stroke that fish? Merely thinking this, Liu immediately felt his jealousy reared its head again and blurted out vehemently, "Tianqi, you're not allowed to have other fish." End chapter. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 110. For a second, Jingwang couldn't figure out what he meant. However, since Xiao Yu was looking like he was facing a formidable enemy, Jingwang agreed along and shook his head, "I won't." Perhaps Xiao Yu didn't like him being too close with the so-called body double fish. Jingwang himself couldn't even stand other people touching Xiao Yu briefly. Now that the shoe was on the other foot, it should be pretty much the same thing. Liu extracted a promise from Jingwang but still felt a bit uneasy. Fortunately, Jingwang really didn't express any excessive liking towards the fish body double. Most of the time he was looking at Liu or the children. Liu's vinegar-filled head finally calmed down. Recalling that the fish double was only a regular fish and not a shape-shifting Yao like him, Liu felt that he was really being too ridiculous, getting jealous over a normal fish. Liu felt guilty and decided to raise and feed the fish body double well later as compensation. However, no matter what Liu was thinking, the fish body double only concerned itself with looking pretty in the crystal bottle. It didn't care at all about the extremely melodramatic humans at all. When they arrived at the Chang'an Palace, Xuěshān and the Princess of Jinju both came out to welcome them. Liu first brought out his fish sons and introduced them one by one. De Bao and the others were dressed by Liu like little immortal apprentices. They all wore bright red and gold shirts with 2 pigtails on each of their heads. The Princess of Jinju was so delighted she couldn't stop smiling. She was still somewhat incredulous. Heavens, there's really 4 of them. In ancient times, twins were already rare enough. Liu actually conceived and birthed 4 all at once. The Princess of Jinju only birthed 1 and already didn't dare to look back on the experience. She felt like Liu, who was able to birth 4 at once, was practically a deity. "Come sit, quick." The princess ordered people to fetch seats and also offered Liu a cup of warm jujube tea. What was given to Jingwang, however, was green tea. Liu took a sip of the sweet and delicious tea, discovering that the princess was also drinking the same as him. At the bottom of the teacup was a few plump jujubes. Instantly, Liu understood. The princess wanted to boost his health as well. This was the princess' good intentions. Liu thought internally, in comparison to the princess, the way he gave birth was more like a game. In terms of labor, the princess was the one who did actual work. While they spoke, Xuěshān went to bring out his daughter, the Princess Jinghe, personally. The little princess was already 100 days old. Her skin was white and glossy, little elbows and legs extending just like lotus roots. Her watery bright eyes were like the princess, but the shape of her tiny little mouth was more like Xuěshān. Around her neck, she wore the locket of peace that Liu gifted. The fish babies saw the little Maimei. Even the always 1 beat slower Sibao widened his eyes. They have never seen anyone this small, a human who was even smaller than them. De Bao called out "Ah" and extended his hands towards the little Maimei. Uncle Ye was holding Maimei, he also wanted to hold. Air Bao, San Bao and Si Bao imitated De Bao and called out urgently. They wanted to play together with Maimei. Not allowed. Fish Dad chided abruptly. Hearing this, the fish babies lowered their little hands in disappointment while they peeked pitifully at Maimei. The princess and Xuěshān almost laughed in amusement at these boys. Liu took the chance to lecture them. Maimei is still small and can't play together with you boys yet. In the future, you all need to remember to protect Maimei. The boys all nodded in unison, however, they still wanted to look at Maimei. The princess ordered someone to carry over a cradle. She placed the little princess into the cradle. The boys all squeezed around the cradle where they looked at the Maimei calmly and quietly. "They're so smart," the princess exclaimed. "The little princess is also very pretty." Liu couldn't resist praising. Xuěshān, whose eyes were practically stuck to her daughter, seemed to have been overcome by unknown drama and said rather with much melancholy, "In the last few days, I keep thinking. In the future, she will have to leave me and marry into someone else's family. I really can't bear it." Jingwang. Liu. The princess. Liu p'd and laughed out loud. It seemed like in terms of being silly, foolish dad Jingwang did not compare to foolish dad Xuěshān. "Just shut your mouth." Thinking Xuěshān was being embarrassing, the princess practically wished that she could throw her teacup at him, to prevent this person from saying more nonsense. However, the corners of her eyes also unconsciously became somewhat wet. In Jinju, even with their more open-minded customs, people still preferred boys a little more. When she had learned from the midwife that she had given birth to a baby girl, for a moment, even an extremely noble princess like her felt somewhat apprehensive. However, Xuěshān and everyone in the Chang'an palace unexpectedly loved this girl. Her parents-in-law came over every day to see her and ask about her health. They even scrambled to take care of the child on behalf of the Princess of Jinju, relieving her of all burdens. Originally, the princess wanted to have a son as well, to complete the son and daughter pair. However, her usually easygoing husband became exceptionally stubborn, saying that birthing was hard work for her and wanting her to improve her own health first and not worry at the moment. The care and attentiveness of her husband and his family made the princess feel like, although this marriage was appointed by the emperor, she still managed to marry into an excellent family. The princess herself still wanted a son. It wasn't that she didn't like daughters, but Liu's 4 sons were all lively and clever. They were so envy-inducing. The princess couldn't help but glance at Xuěshān. Suddenly, she discovered that Liu was also looking at Jingwang in the same way. The two people, who each had their own internal thoughts, instantly understood each other. Liu awkwardly scratched his cheek. Who let the little princess be too cute? He also wanted one. However, they couldn't see the little princess for long. Soon after, the wet nurse came out and carried the little princess back inside. Liu learned from the princess that in the last few days, the little princess accidentally got a cold and had just gotten better. It wasn't good for her to stay outside for too long. Because her daughter was sick, the princess was also in panic for several days. A child this small usually couldn't directly consume medicine. Instead, the wet nurse had to drink the medicine first, which made the medicine enter her milk, and that was how the medicine was fed to the infant. For Liu, regardless whether his 4 fish babies were fishes or infants, they've all been extremely healthy. Therefore, he has never experienced misery in this aspect. When he heard the princess talk about this, Liu only felt something flashed in his mind quickly, but he didn't have the time to grasp the thought. The little princess returned inside. The boys couldn't see the little Maimei anymore and were all very disappointed. In the west frontier, Xuěshān had looked after these little ancestors before and knew their tempers. With a smile, he gave a sharp whistle. The hero of the day, Xiongfeng, dashed wildly inside. Noticing Liu, Xiongfeng excitedly wagged its tail non-stop at him. Long time no see, Xiongfeng. Liu crouched down and rubbed Xiongfeng's head. Xiongfeng tried to lick his hands. Liu suddenly felt a chill behind his back. He looked back and discovered Jingwang swiftly looking away. Liu. When the boys saw the dog, their eyes lit up and finally stopped making a fuss about holding Maimei. Doggy is man's best friend. No bullying. Liu hastily warned the children. However, since the boys were still too little, it's not suitable for them to play with the dog. Liu carried them and did his best to lower down a little to let them see Xiongfeng more clearly. Xiongfeng was most likely trained by Xuěshān ahead of time and didn't dare to get too close to the boys. However, Xiongfeng already liked the children a lot from the bottom of its heart, so it restlessly paced back and forth in a distance not too far away. Liu just finished lecturing the boys, so Da Bao, Air Bao, and San Bao moved closer. However, they were somewhat afraid of the dog's sharp teeth. Only the simple Sibao fearlessly extended a hand and mischievously poked Xiongfeng on the tip of its nose. At this, everyone present froze, even the Xiongfeng, who loved to poke fish the most. Jingwang's figure moved faintly, wanting to snatch Sibao back. Liu hastily stopped him. Before them, Xiongfeng only attempted to use its nose to gently poke Sibao's finger. Sibao let out a happy giggle. Jingwang finally relaxed. "Don't be afraid, Xiongfeng won't bite Sibao," Ye Qinghuan consoled warmly. Liu knew this was true. Xiongfeng has never even bitten fish before. Nevertheless, he still nervously watched Sibao and Xiongfeng interact. He should trust in Xiongfeng, but to have him completely disregard everything was impossible. Debao, Airbao, and Sanbao were encouraged by Sibao and also imitated Sibao to poke at Xiongfeng with their fingers. Jingwang. Liu. Surrounded by the boys, Xiongfeng wagged its tail so hard, it was creating a double image. After wagging his tail for a while, Xiongfeng started to roll around happily. "Oh right, where's your fish?" The princess finally recalled Jingwang's fish at this time. Although she had missed it dearly, she was watching the boys interacted with the dog. Therefore, she only remembered now. Liu smiled faintly. Before everyone all scrambled to see the fish. Having children really made things different. For the first time, Liu pulled out the crystal bottle without any hesitation. The fish body double led the little tiny fishes to swim around happily in the bottle. That dazzling color and notable tail, for a second, even Liu thought that it was his fish self. The princess walked closer with a smile. After looking for a while, she furrowed her brows in confusion. Was something off? Liu became nervous. "What's the matter? Is something wrong?" "No," the princess said, "I just feel like this fish isn't as expressive as before." Liu, she should be praising him, right, right. With a smile, Liu said profoundly, "Princess, this is most likely because he became a parent just like me. Therefore, it became more responsible." The princess smiled and believed this to be true. Meanwhile, Ye Qinghuan played with the four boys as he asked Jingwang, "How come you're not going to look at the fish?" The princess didn't know, but Ye Qinghuan knew just how much Jingwang pampered that fish, to the point of not even letting him take a look before. However, this time, Jingwang had brought the fish so magnanimously to Chang'an Palace. Ye Qinghuan didn't know if it was his misconception, but he discovered that Jingwang was a bit indifferent towards the fish. Ye Qinghuan felt more and more perplexed. On the wedding night, Jingwang even did that kind of unspeakable thing to the fish. Ye Qinghuan even felt unjust for the princess consort. Now Jingwang's thoughts were clearly all on his princess consort and the boys. While looking at the princess consort, even his distant, cold expression turned gentle. If he was this deeply in love, then why did he do this and that to the fish back then? Or perhaps, Jingwang only obsessed for a few wild days before changing his ways for the better? Ye Qinghuan said, "It's very good that you were able to think things through." Jingwang. After the banquet of the little princess 100th day celebration ended, Jingwang brought Liu and the boys to see the former Duke of Chang'an. Liu was well aware that this trip was to attend the 100th day celebration, but at the same time, it was a chance for the former Duke of Chang'an to formally meet his grandsons. Ye Qian was just waiting for the two of them and had the good wine prepared in the garden already. When he saw Jingwang's four children, Ye Qian's eyes reddened for a long time. Perhaps it was because of some mysterious fate. The emperor liked Debao more and Jingwang liked Sibao more. Meanwhile Airbao and Sanbao turned out to be more lovable in the eyes of the former Duke of Chang'an. The former Duke of Chang'an said that before his two children also loved to squabble back and forth. Who were the former Duke of Chang'an's children? Liu exchanged a look with Jingwang, feeling respectful. Now all of the four boys were someone's favorites. Liu felt like everything was perfect like this. The former Duke of Chang'an, whose beard had become even whiter, held Erbao and Sanbao to the left and right of him. With a smile, he wanted Liu to tell him interesting stories about the west frontier. The old man was extremely interested in the duck army and also liked the roasted duck that Xuěshān had brought back from Quanjude. He could eat almost the entire thing in one sitting. Celebrating until the dark of the night, Jingwan carried the slightly inebriated Liu back to the Jing estate. The children had long fallen asleep and were carried to their room by Wang Shi. Jingwan placed the half-coherent Liu on the bed and wrapped him in a grass-green blanket with gold trim. Liu suddenly opened both eyes and looked around in confusion. "Tianqi, are we home?" With a smile, Jingwan rubbed him on the head as a reply. Liu had drunk wine. His face was red like the sunset clouds and his head was sluggish. For a moment, he couldn't remember what he wanted to do. Wang Shi lightly knocked outside. The princess consort was drunk. He probably wouldn't feel good the next day. At this time, Wang Shi should be bringing the liquor-sobering tea that Jingwan had specifically ordered. Jingwan planned to go fetch the tea to feed Xiaoyu a cup. However, Liu mistakenly thought he was leaving and narrowed his eyes in displeasure. In a moment of desperation, the drunk fish used a skill to attempt to make Jingwan stay. Jingwan only felt a wave of cool air blowing past him. Then, a silver with gold tail swept over and wrapped around his waist. "Jingwan. Liu, humph, let's see where you plan to escape to. I'll bring out the tail and coil around you until the end of time." The overbearing tail gave a tug and pulled Jingwan back. Afraid of hurting Liu, Jingwan relented to the strength of the fish tail and returned back to the front of the bed. Seeing that he changed his mind, Liu laughed giddily as he wrapped his arm around Jingwan's neck. "Tianqi, the little princess was so cute. De Bao and the others boys all liked the little princess very much. I also like her. How about if we make a daughter like the little princess? If we could have one, it'd be so nice." Liu said a pile of impassionate words, tail wrapping around Jingwan even more tightly. Like he didn't plan to let Jingwan go if they didn't do it. Jingwan stopped his movement and embraced him back. In regards to Xiaoyu's requests, he usually never refuses. However, the request this time was somewhat special. For once, Jingwan hesitated. "Tianqi, what are you waiting for?" Liu moved closer with a seductive expression, blowing air into Jingwan's ear non-stop. "What to do? My tail feels so uncomfortable." The fish tail sulkily rubbed against Jingwan's waist slowly. Jingwan took a deep breath and picked up this drunk fish who always loved playing with fire. After they had returned from the west frontier, Jingwan took over and slightly renovated their bedroom. Pond water was drawn in from the outside and drawn into a small bath area. Normally, it can be observed like background scenery. If needed, it could be used by Xiaoyu after his transformations. Jingwan held Xiaoyu tightly and walked towards the bath in large steps. End chapter.